One of the questions we get a lot is, hey, I don't have 40 yards in my backyard, where can I hit birdie balls? So I decided to come outside the building and just show you no less than 20 places that I can see just from where I'm standing. We've got the office building, so we've got a little hill that we can hit right onto the hill. We have a grassy area here next to the tennis courts I can hit right out of the parking lot. We can hit right onto the tennis courts and either hit onto the tennis courts or from the tennis courts. We can hit out here on the baseball diamond and right out into the outfield, or we can hit home plate to second base. We can hit onto the soccer field, which is beyond the baseball diamond, and of course there are multiple green areas all around the office buildings that we have. So let's talk about the products that we would use to hit. Of course, the birdie balls. I've got a birdie ball shag stick here that holds 18 to 20 birdie balls that you can carry with you, and it's very easy to pick up the birdie balls right wherever you are. Just tip them up and slide the shag stick right over them. We also have our trusty birdie ball club, and being that it's Masters Week, we thought we would show you our portable grass, which this is the Masters of portable turf. Has a handle on it, has an area that actually holds the birdie balls or a real golf ball, a place where you can put a tee, a rubber tee, and it's heavy, so it's not going to move on you, but it's light enough to carry. So let's throw it down here in the parking lot and hit a couple. Just lay the turf down on the ground. I have my birdie ball collapsible golf club, which is very transportable and is a great club to hit with. Just snap it into place. So here we are at our first location. It's a little grassy area right next to a tennis court. There's millions of these places throughout the country. So let's go up and get the balls. Here's the beautiful thing about birdie balls. They only go 40 yards. So as I walk up here to get the balls, in literally 15 seconds, I'm where all the balls were. But they felt exactly like golf balls. They slice, they hook, just like a real golf ball does. Here's how the shake stick works. Just tilt up the ball and slide it right down over the ball. The ball's already upright, just push right down on top of it. We're in a floodplain right outside an office building that is really not good for anything else than hitting birdie balls. So to give you some perspective, this is where the balls landed. I hit from down near those signs. It's the length of a tennis green area right next to the office building. Wait for cars. So let's find a place on the grass. We can put it on the concrete, but let's find a place on the grass that has just a little recess area right here so that my feet are about the same level as the turf. Dump out a few balls. And let's hit toward those cars on the top of the hill. Now, here's a very interesting thing. I'm sure in the video those cars look like they're very far away, but I could run up there in 5 seconds and touch them. I'm going to hit right at them, and the ball's not even going to come close. All right, I'm going to repeat something here. It's only 40 yards. It's only 40 yards. Only 40 yards. That's the best thing about birdie balls. is not only do they feel and fly like golf balls, but they only go 40 yards. So I hit from that mat that John is about ready to zoom down into. And I hit all the way up to these cars, and I want to show you how far we still are away from these cars that were 40 to 50 yards away from us. The ball that I was just standing next to is the furthest ball up the hill. Out on the golf course, one of the toughest shots that I can hit is a downhill lie. So as long as I'm up here picking up birdie balls and I can only go 40 yards, I'm going to hit back to the mat that I was at. Actually, I'm going to hit just to the right of it at that tree without any leaves. The balls only go 40 yards, so I'm going to have a really hard time getting there. Just at the base of the tree. That's fun practice. What I love about birdie ball is now I can focus on not hitting this one down. That was well struck and was probably a good 15 feet short of that truck. So that's just where we were, right across the street. I'm now standing in an area that is below a parking lot, above another floodplain. The office building, they have no problem with me hitting here because this land really isn't used for anything other than just a green belt. Nobody really comes down here, so there's no issues for me hitting. But if they did have a problem, I could go right back across to that little vacant lot over there. Or I could go onto the tennis court. Or I could go to the soccer field or the baseball diamond. The beautiful thing about this is I get to practice. And the birdie balls, they draw, they fade exactly like a real golf ball. When they land, they stop. They feel exactly like a golf ball, so I get real practice anywhere I want. Just to give you an example, I hit out of my own front yard because I don't have 40 yards in my backyard either. So I hit out of my front yard across the street to my neighbor's front yard, and he hits them back to me. Let's go to the next location. The baseball diamond soccer field. Now, as I peruse the area, I can see that there's really an open area way out past the outfield. And that's where I would go. But let's just kind of stop, and I want to tell you a story about how I'd use the birdie balls myself. My son is a soccer player. He's a senior in college now, and he has played since he was 5 years old. So as we have used the birdie ball over the years, when I would go and drop him off for soccer practice and I'd have 45 minutes to kill, I would go drop a strike pad right on the soccer field next to where they were practicing, and I would hit. Now, almost every time that I would do that, I'd always bring a second club and a second strike pad, because one of the other fathers would come over and say, "What are you doing?" And we would hit back and forth, and it was just great fun.